She walked into her husband's hotel expecting kindness, but was met with humiliation instead. What they didn't know? She wasn't just any woman. She was the wife of the billionaire who owned it all. And when he found out, they regretted it instantly. The grand lobby of Kingston International Hotel was nothing short of breathtaking. Crystal chandeliers sparkled overhead, and the marble floors gleamed under the soft golden lights. Everything screamed luxury. But Sophia Kingston didn't feel like she belonged. Dressed in simple jeans and a modest blouse, she hesitated near the front desk, gripping her worn purse. She had never used her husband's last name in public, and most people didn't even know what Mrs. Kingston looked like. That's how Ethan liked it. Privacy over publicity. She had come here for one reason, to surprise her husband with a visit. But first, she wanted to book a room. No special treatment, no favors, just like any regular guest. She stepped forward. "Hi, I'd like to book a room for the night, please." The receptionist barely glanced at her, already looking unimpressed. "Do you have a reservation?" "No, but I was hoping—" "Then we're fully booked." Sophia frowned. She could see the available rooms on the glowing screen behind the desk. "I just saw that you have vacancies." The receptionist sighed dramatically. "Those are for real guests. This is a luxury hotel. Our cheapest room is over $5,000 a night." Sophia's stomach twisted. The receptionist didn't even try to hide her sneer. "People like you can't afford this place. Try the motel down the street." A few guests nearby chuckled, throwing her pitying glances. Humiliation burned in Sophia's chest. She wasn't angry that they didn't recognize her. She was angry because this was how they treated people who didn't look wealthy. She took a deep breath. Fine. They wanted to treat her like nothing? Let's see what they did when they realized exactly who they had just insulted. Because in the next few minutes, their lives were about to change. Their lives were about to change. Sophia's fingers curled around her purse strap as she stared at the smug expression on the receptionist's face. They had no idea who they were talking to. She could have easily revealed her identity right then and there, but why should she? If this was how they treated an ordinary guest, then it was a much bigger problem than just her. She smiled sweetly instead. "Are you sure there aren't any rooms available?" The receptionist scoffed. "Even if there were, we don't offer rooms to—" She gave Sophia a once-over, wrinkling her nose. "People who clearly can't afford them." Nearby, a wealthy-looking couple watched the exchange with amused smirks. "This is a five-star hotel, not a shelter," the woman muttered under her breath, just loud enough for Sophia to hear. That was it. Sophia's anger simmered beneath her calm exterior. They wanted to judge her? Fine, let them dig their own graves. Still keeping her voice polite, she said, "I see. In that case, could you call the owner for me? He'd love to hear how his staff treats paying guests." The receptionist laughed. "You? You think you know Mr. Kingston?" The couple nearby chuckled as well. "Oh, this is priceless." The receptionist shook her head. "Mr. Kingston doesn't waste his time on people like you." Sophia smirked. "Oh, but he does." Instead of arguing, she pulled out her phone and dialed a number. The entire lobby watched as she casually held the phone to her ear. A deep, authoritative voice answered almost instantly. "Hey, love. What's wrong?" Silence. The receptionist froze. The couple's smirks vanished. Sophia kept her eyes locked on the receptionist as she spoke. "I'm at the front desk of your hotel, Ethan. Apparently, I don't look rich enough to stay here." The line was quiet for exactly 2 seconds. Then, her husband's voice turned ice cold. "Stay right there!" Sophia smiled. "Showtime!" The entire atmosphere in the lobby shifted the moment Sophia hung up the phone. The receptionist, who had been brimming with arrogance just seconds ago, suddenly looked nervous. Guests who had been smirking at her embarrassment were now whispering among themselves. The woman who had mocked her earlier leaned toward her husband. "She's bluffing, right?" Sophia simply folded her arms and waited. And then, the elevator doors opened. A tall, commanding man in an expensive suit strode into the lobby, his presence impossible to ignore. Ethan Kingston, the billionaire, the owner, her husband. Every single person who had dismissed her went pale. Ethan's sharp gaze immediately found Sophia, softening just slightly as he reached her side. But when he turned toward the front desk, his expression turned deadly. The receptionist visibly trembled. Ethan's voice was dangerously calm. "Would you like to repeat to me what you just said to my wife?" The receptionist opened her mouth, but no words came out. She was trapped. Sophia smiled sweetly. "I believe she said, and I quote, 'This is a luxury hotel, and people like me don't belong here.'" Ethan's jaw clenched. His next words came low and sharp. "Get out!" The receptionist blinked. "Sir?" "You're fired," Ethan stated coldly. "Gather your things and get out of my hotel." The woman paled, stammering. "Mr. Kingston, I didn't know she was your wife." Ethan laughed coldly. "Oh, so if she wasn't my wife, you still would have humiliated her? Is that what you're saying?" The receptionist's face crumbled. The couple who had laughed at Sophia earlier tried to shrink into the background, but Ethan's gaze landed on them next. "And as for you two," his voice cut through the room, "I don't tolerate guests who look down on others. You can leave as well." The woman's jaw dropped. "You can't just kick us out!" Ethan's smirk was merciless. "I own the building. I can do whatever I want." Security had already stepped forward. The couple, now humiliated beyond belief, grabbed their things and stormed out. The receptionist, shaking, turned back one last time. "Mr. Kingston, please, I need this job." Ethan didn't even look at her. "You should have thought about that before treating my wife like garbage." And just like that, she was escorted out. The lobby was silent. Employees stood frozen, terrified of making the same mistake. Ethan finally turned back to Sophia, his gaze softening once more. "Are you all right, love?" Sophia smirked. "Never better." She turned to the remaining staff, who were now standing stiffly behind the desk. "I think I'll take that room now." The new receptionist practically tripped over herself to grab a key. "Right away, Mrs. Kingston. The penthouse suite, of course. It's complimentary." Sophia took the key, her smile never fading. "Oh, I'll pay for it." She glanced at Ethan. "Wouldn't want people thinking I can't afford it." Ethan chuckled, wrapping an arm around her waist. "Oh, they know now." And as they walked toward the elevator, every single person in that lobby knew one thing for certain. No one would ever dare look down on Mrs. Kingston again.